If you've never been to Estes Park, you need to make a trip to Estes Park. It is just the most awesome little town there is. My original plan was to stay 2 days at my daughter's house over the weekend and then head out camping again. But because I had dumped my bike in the previous episode 2, I had pulled a muscle in my back. So I needed to stay a couple extra days just to kind of recoup, get my back in order before I went camping again. And while I was there, my nephew Jason went out camping on his own, and he developed altitude sickness and got pretty sick. He had to head back to Texas. So on Wednesday, I headed up to Estes Park. We had a campsite reserved from Wednesday night through Saturday. So I just went up and camped by myself. Because of all the COVID regulations with the national parks, you can't just go into Rocky Mountain National Park like you could before at any time. I reserved 2 time slots, one Thursday afternoon 2 to 4, one Friday afternoon 2 to 4. You can't go in before your time slot. You can only go in during your time slot. So that was my designated time to go check out Rocky Mountain National Park. Estes Park is kind of the gateway to Rocky Mountain National Park. It's a quaint little town. It's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff to do there. Several breweries. There's the Stanley Hotel where Stephen King got the inspiration for The Shining. A lot of quaint little stores and touristy places to go visit. If you've never been to Estes Park, you need to go check it out. Hi, how are you?
Good. Are you checking in?
Yes.
Come on in. My husband is going to go ahead and drive you up there so you can look at it first.
Okay.
Because of having this on the back, it might be a little tricky for you, parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a pretty good incline, so I don't want
Is
you
the
to...
road kind of...
It's not good parking for a motorcycle.
It's tricky.
It's no person. Yeah, no way to
Especially with that thing on it. That on it is a little tricky. So I just want to give you I assume he has a tent. That's not a tent camper, is it? I don't know what it is. It says a tent. I think that's meant to be his tent right there, or his tent's inside.
Yeah, I just assumed the tent
It
was
said-
inside
it
that
says
thing.
it.
It says a tent, but, and which
It
I
says
assumed, but now
tent.
that I look at it, I think, oh, that's not one of those damn things that they can open up and it become a tent.
I don't think so. I think that just has all the gear and stuff in
Yeah.
it, to be honest.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
We've had him come in here and dump several times. Let's see, I think it was
Yeah,
the
it's got a
second
hell of a
year.
lot of stuff on that thing too.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's what I mean. It looks
Holy cow.
It's a little heavy, so just want to make sure that he kind of judges it for himself before he makes the drive.
I just can't believe how much he's got on that
They
thing.
got a lot of
And
shit
then
on
having
there.
that thing behind
It's like
him.
they're things strapped. I mean, it's got
He's
his
got stuff
backpack
strapped
thingy
everywhere on that
strapped.
thing.
It's strapped somewhere.
I wonder if there's a pack on this other side too.
Yep. That's 1, 2, 3 packs plus the ice chest, plus the battery things on here, plus whatever's in there, plus that, plus the black bag, plus the whatever that other thing is. It looks like a backpack almost.
Fractal of some sort.
Yeah. It's amazing what the poetry says. I think it's great.
But she didn't have to on that one.
Yep.
You got a plan?
Yep, he's got a plan. He found him.
But still wish me luck.
Always.
So after checking out my campsite, I decided it wouldn't be much of a problem to get my bike up there. The road wasn't too bad. You know, it was a little loose gravel and stuff like that, but I had seen much worse. Didn't really have a problem getting up there. The main concern they had was with the parking spot. It was on an incline, and they knew I wouldn't be able to park my bike in that parking spot very well. So after looking at it, I decided I could just park out of the parking spot, kind of parallel to the road, and that way my bike and trailer would be pretty level. So it all worked out.
Just fine, didn't it?
It worked. Lean a little bit, but
Yeah.
it'll be all right.
Everything's pretty secure here. We don't
Yeah,
have a problem.
I figured it was.
This is a kind of a family-oriented park. It's pretty quiet here. We haven't had a bear issue, so the bear box and the food and everything's real important. Because he likes coming through here and then heading up that way, so he comes by and just bangs on the bear box and see if one of them will pop open. It's pretty handy. There's one in town. It was on national news last week. He opened up, I think they said 10 cars, got into 10 different cars.
Yeah, they learn how to open cars after
They pull on the car, the door
they're
handle.
not locked.
Yep, we tell everybody, lock your cars. Lock your doors. All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. pretty much been my 2 days here at Estes Park so far. Tomorrow the rain's supposed to stop, but I'll be able to actually get out and do some stuff. It was kind of a rough night last night. Kind of reminded me of a hurricane in the mountains, I guess. Wind was blowing very hard, rained pretty hard, but my Nemo tent held up pretty well. Held up great, in fact. Even the little porch addition I added to it did really good, except for this clip right here came off, so this piece right here was flapping in the wind. But other than that, it did great. They didn't fare too well last night. Well, I was sitting here, it's very windy again today, and I just saw this tent right there. I just saw that tent collapse. Hopefully mine will stay up. So on Friday it stopped raining just long enough that I could go into town, get me some lunch, and go to the store and get me some coffee. So I decided to eat lunch at the Estes Park Brewery. I've eaten there, been to Estes Park Brewery several times. I go there every time I come to Estes Park. They have a really good selection of beer that they make right there on the spot. And they also have really good pizza. So if you're ever in Estes Park, go to Estes Park Brewery and check out their beer and pizza. I did notice while I was in town, after I got coffee, my bike was getting really hard to start. So I kind of had an idea something might be wrong with my battery. So I checked my voltage on my battery and it was extremely low. So I was talking about my concerns to the people camped across from me, and they said they had a jump starter device that if I needed to use it, it wouldn't be any problem. So I packed up my bike. I told them I may need it. Let me pack my bike up and we'll see what happens. I got my bike and my trailer all packed up, broke camp. Tried to start it, and of course it wouldn't start. It was too low. So I did get a jump from my neighbors across the camp. Many thanks to them. And I headed on into town so I could go to O'Reilly's and get a new battery. On my way into town, I noticed my oil light came on. So I had a small oil leak that started while I was in Colorado, and as long as I just kept it topped off, everything was cool. But evidently the oil leak is getting bigger, so that's a new concern for me. There's just something about Estes Park. Every time I'm here, I have to get a new battery for my bike. I just got it changed out. I'm about to go inside and get my cord charge back, and I'll be on the road. So I bought a new battery, installed it, and ended up pouring a whole quart of oil into my bike. That was pretty low. And I got some extra oil to take with me. I did have to stop and get gas on the way back to Denver to go to my daughter's house. And I did top off with some more oil when I stopped to get gas. Started thinking, at this rate, how am I going to make it back to Texas? I can't go through that much oil. So yeah, I've got a pretty substantial oil leak. I'm in Denver at my daughter's place right now. Let's just see. There's some fresh drops. It looks like it's leaking out of the oil filter area. Yeah, but I changed the oil before I left, and then I rode it about 1,200 miles before it started leaking. Okay, I'm at T-Fog motorcycle repair here in Denver, and they're going to take a look at my bike. Got a massive oil leak. Looks like it's coming from where the oil filter is, but they just brought it back, put it up on the lift, take a look at it, and hopefully I'll get this resolved so I can get back to Texas. Okay, so I know what you're saying. What happened to Rocky Mountain National Park? The problem was I only had 2 time slots, 4 to 6 o'clock on Thursday, 4 to 6 o'clock on Friday. And it just so happened it was storming both days during my time slot. So this the whole system they have just totally messed me up. If I had a car, I probably would have went ahead and gone and just rode around in the rain and sightseed a little bit that way. But since I was on my motorcycle, I didn't really feel like riding around in the rain. It just didn't seem like a good thing. So I knew I needed to get my bike worked on, and my son-in-law told me about T-Fog Wheel Sports that both he and his dad took their bikes to get them worked on. So I went to T-Fog Wheel Sports and he fixed me up, changed out the gasket, fixed my oil leak, did a great job. If you're ever in Denver, I'm gonna put his business card right here. You have problems and you're in Denver, you give this guy a call and he will fix you up. Did a very good job. But after I got my bike fixed, my plan was to camp for another 1.5 to 2 weeks in Colorado before I headed back to Texas. But unfortunately, while my bike was in the shop, my brother called me and said my mom was in the hospital. She had to be taken by ambulance. She was in pretty bad shape. So as soon as my bike was fixed, I had to get back to Texas. So I had to cut my trip short. By the way, my mom is okay now. Everything worked out. She just kind of scared us there for a little bit, but everything's cool. I do want to say I had several problems on this trip, but never failed. Every single time I had a problem, somebody showed up to help me out. So I feel blessed I was taken care of. You know, you're always going to have problems when you're out on the road. There's so many good people out there that are willing to help a stranger. I think that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it took a long time for me to get it up. I had the footage on my hard drive for quite a while, but I had episode 1 and 2. I figured I needed to do an episode 3 just with the footage I had. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.